Every week at Business at Breakfast, one of the members gets the opportunity to share with the group further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The member can use this time to problem solve or seek assistance and advice from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. Today, I'm just having a little look around, and there's a person whom I've never been able to pin down. I was hoping would turn up and I could get out as a speaker, and here she is right here. Let me just spotlight her for everyone. Here we go. We have the wonderful Deby Miller today. Deby, I'm going to get you to be our speaker today. So I've known Deby for at least 4 years, well, for 4 years, because we started out at Happy Neighborhood Project the first year I came into it, which was probably a year after it started. Deby's from Iowa. She's a LegalShield consultant. She has like 7,000 grandkids, I think 16 boys. Like, she's a mom of heaps. She's got, I know, right? But I like to say that Deby saves lives. Her job is to save lives every single day. We've heard her elevator pitch. She talks LegalShield and she talks about getting a will done. If you think about it, right, getting a will done before you die saves the lives of everybody else that's involved. And so as a result, that's Deby's task, is to save lives every day. So with that, Deby, you've got up to 8 minutes. Kathy's going to set a timer, right? I would like you to give us your elevator pitch again, and I would like you to give us the history story of how it came about. So I know that, so how is it that you became a LegalShield consultant, and why do you believe in wills so much? After that, stop talking. We'll have questions to ask.
Thank you, Missy. I don't have quite that many children or grandchildren, but I do have a few. So my elevator speech is, let's see, I'm Deby Miller with Prepaid Legal Services, Inc., helping families and small businesses have access to law firms in their area. Fortunately, we work all over North America. Unfortunately, we don't come to Australia just yet. Hopefully soon that I can help there. My story starts many years ago when we had our first 3 children, and we were traveling around in the Sandhills here in the United States, and they were with us all the time. And we thought we should have a will, but we didn't know anything about it. Our whole point was that we wanted somebody that we picked to take care of our children should we both be gone. Well, we didn't know who to talk to or anything about it, so we just didn't even think about it. So several years later, a friend of ours introduced us to LegalShield. Now, the beauty of LegalShield is that for the $1 a day or $1.50, if you have a small business, you can ask an attorney to help with any area of law. Plus, you get to have your wills written, both you and your spouse, at no extra cost. So our big problem right there, because money is usually the big issue, was taken care of. The second issue was we didn't have a clue of what to do or how to do it. We hadn't met Kathy yet to know about her great books about death and her final footprints. Actually, Kathy hadn't even written it yet. So anyway, fortunately, she caught up with the need and she had it all taken care of. But we didn't know what to do. LegalShield actually has a little pamphlet. So all you do is fill out your information. Well, now that pamphlet is on an app on our phone. So you can download the app, put your information in. If you, like me, have so many grandkids, I don't remember what their birth year is always. I can go check it out and then come back and put it in and keep going. Stop as many times as you want. When I'm done, I hit a button and send it to my law firm. And basically within a week, I have a legal document back in my hands. I check it out. If there's something wrong with it, or if they'd had a question, they could have called me. They would have called me to make sure they had it all right. And then I just get it notarized and signed, and I have my will all taken care of. No finding an attorney, no running around with all the other things that might be needed. It's all taken care of very easily. So I love that program. My mother-in-law, when she had to update her will, spent $3,000 to get dad's name off of her will. So if you know people here in the United States that have their will done and think, hey, it's all finished, just remind them that in case they need to make updates, I'm here to help, and I won't charge them $3,000 for one document. In fact, $3,000, you could probably have LegalShield for almost 10 years. That sounds a lot better to me. So that's Deby Miller, LegalShield and ID Shield. Thanks,
Excellent.
Mitzi.
Excellent. Thank you, Debbie. I really like that service of you can make your will and then you update it every year. Keeps it updated. You know, Sam and I made our wills, well, I think Noel was a couple of years old before we even got around to it, and we did it. Now, something I didn't know, so we've got wills done here in Australia, had to go through a lawyer, about $1,500 per will. And they're pretty much the same will is mine, except if he dies last, the boys go to his brother, and if I die last, it goes to my best friend. The boys go to best friend, right? So there's only like really small differences, very small. Here's what I know. One day I got mad at Simon, like so mad. I called up the lawyer and said, I don't want him in my will anymore. He's not in charge of me if I have to flick that, if someone's in charge of flicking that switch. I'd like him off. What's that going to cost? And they said, well, we can't do it without telling him first. And I've gone, well, then what do you mean? I don't want him in it. And they've gone, but you bought mirrored wills. And this is something I didn't know. Apparently, a mirrored will is that the couple has it and they are the same. Like he flicks the switch for me and I flick the switch for him, or choose not to, however it turns out, right? And that to update things, the other person has to know about it. Now, I didn't know I'd spent that much money on that, but I didn't know to ask. So I didn't know that that's what I was buying. It was only at that moment of anger that ultimately the only way to fix it would be make a brand new will, like a complete different one. I wasn't that mad to start from the beginning all over again. So there's little things that you may not know. And I have to say, where my will is, no one would be able to find mine and Simon's. No one would be able to find it. We've moved away. We haven't updated it. It's been, 13 years? And the lawyers don't ring and say, hey, has your situation changed? It's funny that they go out saying we want more clients, but they don't update the current clients. And on average, can anyone have a guess in Australia how much it costs to just update a will, just to make one small change, update a will? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Julie, what do you got?
I updated my will only back in October, and I think it was only $250. So whether that's Tassie prices were a bit cheaper, but he had to change my name and change my executor and all that sort of stuff. But it was about 230, so which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, that is actually. I was
went
thinking about 400 a piece. There's 800 just like that. So
because you're right, like my will, because my ex-husband, the kid's dad, passed away in May, and he didn't have a will. His will, and I knew he hadn't changed it, and so I was actually still his beneficiary of everything. He on his deathbed, they had to do a whole new will for him. So, and it was like, I think it was well over $1,000 just to get his updated will, and that because he died 2 days later. It's like he had cancer, and he was like, he must have been, oh, Julie's not going to get anything now, so I can leave it all to the kids. And that's what prompted me to do mine, because I thought I don't want any headaches and that for the kids, because they had it all with their dad. So I updated because I changed my maiden name and gone back to my maiden name and everything. So it was all in all of that. So yeah, but it's definitely worth keeping on top of it. So great service, Deb, really, really good.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. When I first heard about it from HMP. All right, who has some stories for Debbie? Some questions for Debbie. Yeah, Joe.
Debbie, do you have a time frame of when you might be coming to Australia?
Well, it's not up to me. It's up to my company actually coming to Australia. So I don't have any idea when they'll be reaching out past the North America. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's just that you said you hoped it was soon. So I just thought you might have known that they were looking at it for in the next 2 years or 5 years or something like that.
No, I haven't heard. I know we were in England for a little while, and now I know we're not. So I don't know. And we have to, even here in the United States, every single state has different laws. So it took us a long time to actually get into every state here because they have to approve of everything that we sell in
Yeah.
our plan in each place. So
Well, if you could
LegalShield,
just sort that for me, that would be really good. Thanks.
just make that happen, Debbie. You're good to go. So Debbie, LegalShield's been around for a long time, right? Like 50 odd years or something, yeah?
yes, our company is 52 years old now. So yeah, it's taken a while to get all, I mean, we finally now have all 50 states and at least most of Canada's that we help. So
Yeah.
it takes a while.
And you've just recently been to the conference. I believe you and Michelle Cruz went to the conference.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. What was your key take homes from the conference? What'd you find out?
Well, our company has been waiting or looking for a new CEO. Our founder CEO died a few years ago, and we've had one other person leading us since then. And so we went more than a year or so without a leader per se. So it was great to finally have a new one. And one of the things that we kept hearing in convention was that our founder's DEA is now back in our company. So our new head, or, that length of time without any actual specific director, sort of gave confusion, I guess, to some of the people in LegalShield. And now we're focused again to explode and maybe that will help with getting us farther out of the United States and Canada and into
law
England
stuff
and
though is very complicated. It's just like you said, it's different in every state, and then you move across the country, and it's just complicated. I know in Australia, apparently, you cannot leave your fortune to your cat or your dog, right? But we Australians are of the opinion you can do that in America. I don't know if it's true or not, but that you can do that because it shows up in movies sometimes, but you definitely can't in Australia. Somebody has to be in charge of the cat if you're going to leave it all that way.
right.
Someone's got to be in charge. Mr. Valek.
All right, Misty. Well, in that case, there's a wrinkle in me becoming your neighbor, moving down to Chinchilla or whatever, because if I can't leave my stuff to Ariel or the kitties, that's a huge deal breaker,
But Misty will look after them for you, Paul.
But I wonder how that would work.
I don't know.
If you moved to Australia.
When I meet someone, and if they don't like animals, oh well, next.
Why would you meet someone who doesn't like animals? That's my question.
Run into them. Look, we have crazy people in our government. Please, let's not go down a governor's route.
Okay, let's go another way though.
I'm sure you've read the news.
Let's go another way though, Paul. Let's say you moved out to Australia. Does that mean you'd need an Australian will, or does your American one stand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. See, now, if you're part of LegalShield, you just call and ask.
I don't know, here in the United States, even if, as Julie was mentioning, if you have like your life insurance or some other different documents that are specifically to a person, your will never counters that, even if, Julie has her name on your life insurance,
yep.
But your will actually says Paul is your beneficiary. Julie's still going to get your life insurance money, and Paul can get everything else. So
yeah, 100%. Same with super, what you call 401k and our super. It stands alone on a completely different thing. Lots of complicated stuff in that whole law space, isn't there?
Yeah. Lots of help needed to get it all straight.
Yeah. So you're not a lawyer though, are you, Debbie?
I am not an attorney at all. No, I have
No.
no clue.
Play one
No.
on Zoom.
So she signs you up. So she signs you up through the membership and then points you to the lawyer. But she's the consultant that can answer your questions and then gives you to the appropriate lawyer for the thing that you're after. And so she can help you if you don't quite understand how to use your membership appropriately. Debbie can answer those questions and then point you off towards the appropriate lawyer that helps out as well. And so there's lawyers for many things, for criminal law, for business law, for ID. Have someone stolen your ID? Amazon scamming. Who watched The Beekeeper? Who watched that movie with Jason Statham, right? That tells you the back end of how those scammers get people on the phone and then steal all their money straight like that. Open your bank account and steal all your money over the phone. So LegalShield helps with that as well. So thank you, Debbie, for being our speaker today. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Just
Thanks.
throwing in the deep end. And thank you, audience, for being a part of Debbie's talk as well.